Hey everyone, I know you have missed my voice with a video tutorial and helping with writer's help. Um, Hopefully this will come at you at a time that is useful. At this point, I'm hoping that you all have assigned some stuff from writer's help, and that in wandering around looking at the materials and getting to learn what's there, you might have realized that there's some activities built into, this is the benefit of a digital. There's activities built in here that you might actually want to assign to your students and have it um, collect what they produce digitally so you can go back and grade it. So, for example, under developing paragraphs here, if we scroll, all of this is reading material until we get to the end, and there's what's called a learning curve. And learning curve is basically, we can go in and look at it real quick. It's um, a digital way it's an adaptive learning application, so it's a digital way to process the content. So in this, I'm looking at it, previewing it as a student, and basically it asks questions and connects them to the relevant aspect of the ebook. So it's a way to prompt them to read material. And the questions, you know this, that people are motivated to answer the question the right way. So you can assign the learning curves. You might also notice, I'm going to scroll down here under reviewing and revising. There's also these video prompts where there's videos and then questions that students can fill in. So here's the thing. If you do not actually assign these within Writer's Help, the system will not save the answer. So you could tell them to go read this and fill in the questions, but if you don't come over here to options and actually assign it, and so say give it a deadline of this upcoming Saturday, um, there we go, create new, assign, and a little thing will pop up here saying it's assigned. If you do not actually assign it, the program, Writer's Help, will not save the submissions by the students. And you would go see the submissions by going into the gradebook and looking at each student's work through the gradebook. So, one, if you want to assign the work, you actually need to assign the activities. And then two, again, if you want to make it easy for the students to see, you also want to pull it in through D2L. So let me remind myself, okay, it was September 30th that I assigned that. So if you want to attach it, right now what you're seeing here is in the content area, I've attached direct links to the reading content. Ta-da, popped open a window. It took me directly to that page instead of students having to flounder around. And what you see here at the bottom is I assigned a learning curve and did the same thing. It attaches to it. Voila, there we go. It attached to the learning curve. So I'm going to go assign this video prompt so you remember how to do that. Testing is the area where I put all this stuff. So I'm going to course admin, over here on the left, course builder. I find the little Macmillan red flags icon, drag it over to testing. It is then going to prompt me to attach a specific thing. So that video was under writing processes, it was under reviewing and revising, under video prompts, and I'm pretty sure it was the first one. There we go. Deploy selected content. I hate that it's canceled. It makes no sense to me intuitively. Okay, so if I go back to content, there's the video prompt. Notice it pulled over the due date from Launchpad. I did not have to do that. But now here's the tricky thing. Once you assign an actual activity, um, Launchpad also pushes it to your gradebook. So I'm now clicking over here to grades, and you'll notice I have a bunch of stuff already in here in grades. But if we scroll way to the bottom, okay, so there's the learning curve. Where did we lose? Oh, it just made a liar out of me. I love when that happens. Okay, that's weird. So it did not push the video one, which is cool. But it did push the learning curve one. So I do want to take a moment and show you in case this happens. So basically, whenever you assign a Macmillan, pop over to your gradebook and make sure. Um, so it pushes something, and that potentially disrupts your gradebook, and especially if you have weighting. The way I suggest you handle this is um, create a gradebook area. I called it in class activities here. I could call it, I'm going to change it to um, Writer's Help 2.0 activities. Okay, so that, and you'll notice over here it's weighted 0. What that means is everything in this category is weighted 0 towards the class. So if you wanted this homework to be weighted differently, or if you wanted it, if it's say an in-class activity, you could just put it in the weight 0, and then it doesn't matter. It could be 100 million points, but because it's weighted 0 towards the class grade, the 100 million points don't matter. That might be a good lesson in math for your students as well. I hope I'm actually glad it didn't work out perfectly, that the video didn't push something, because it shows that I'm still figuring this out too. But the main thing to get you thinking about is that you can do these interactive activities. If you want them, you have to make sure you actually assign them here. And if you pull them over to D2L, they might show up in your grade book, and you might need to weight and assign them. I don't suggest you mess with whatever the points are. You can mess with the weighting, but don't mess with the points, however you assign points over here, because at that point you have um, two systems kind of pushing numbers back and forth. My suggestion is to put it in a category like with the 0 weighting that you can control otherwise, and just explain to your students what's going on. I hope this all makes sense. If you have questions, feel free to come ask me, and if I can't answer it, I will pass you on to Cherie or Lauren, who probably can. Otherwise, I hope you're finding good content and good activities in Writer's Help.